United States Army presents Black History Month.
From the American Revolution to the war in Iraq, African Americans have fought in every conflict that the United States has engaged in. Yet for 150 years, their inclusion in the military wasn't much welcomed, nor their contributions widely recognized. So today, as we celebrate Black History Month, we look back at these unsung soldiers. Errol Barnett has the story.
The U.S. Military Academy, West Point. Here, young cadets are preparing for their future, one that includes the Army and all of the opportunities it will afford them.
I can be an officer, I can go to any branch of the military that I want, and I can excel, I can take on any leadership position in the Army that I'd like to.
For Chana Larry, it means preparing to become an officer.
It means a lot to me to be more than just a leader in the military. I want to be a great leader in the military.
For African Americans entering the military, the door is wide open. But for their parents and grandparents before them, history tells a different story. These are images of Civil War soldiers. Few of us know the history of African Americans in the Civil War. What we do know comes from Hollywood. In films like Glory, an entertaining but not entirely accurate story of the all-black 54th Massachusetts Infantry. Harry Jones, the curator of the African American Civil War Museum in Washington, D.C., wants the true story told.
Do you think that most Americans know and understand all of those contributions and sacrifices of African Americans during the Civil War? No. No, they do not. For many years, this was not a story told or taught.
At first banned from entering the Army, eventually more than 200,000 African Americans fought in the Civil War. Some free men, some still slaves. They did battle on the front lines and ran covert operations. 23 were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor.
They believed in this war that they would get an opportunity in league with the Constitution to actually end the tyranny of slavery. They're even arguing that this is going to be a legal insurrection, if you will. So they're highly motivated to end slavery.
For black soldiers, however, the end of slavery did not bring equality in the military. As America fought in World War I, African American troops are again relegated to all-black battalions.
They get poor equipment when it comes to training. They get poor support when it comes to training. There was this official policy in the Army that African Americans really wouldn't make good combat soldiers.
Those soldiers who do see action are sent to Europe to fight, not side by side with U.S. troops, but alongside the French.
The Germans called them the Hellfighters because in the 191 days they're on the front, not a single one of these soldiers are captured, and they never lose any ground. That's not reported in the U.S. So there's discrimination on reporting what they achieve.
They are awarded France's Croix de Guerre.
How baffling is it to you now to look back and see how consistently African Americans stepped up to the plate, did their best, and still weren't rewarded in the same way? It's difficult to believe that that was actually a standard operating procedure in the American military. But it shows you how debilitating racism is.
It isn't until after World War II, after African American soldiers distinguished themselves in every aspect of the war, that President Truman ordered the end of segregation in the military.
Knowing that kind of history it affects my opinion somewhat.
In what way does it affect your opinion?
Well, it affects it negatively a little, but at the same time, I know that people aren't the same as they were at that time. We have a lot more different people into the military, and now it's more about serving your country.
I'm adding to their struggle. I'm validating what they've done, what they've gone through. So it makes me so proud.
Today, cadets at West Point honor the history of African Americans in the Army. It is on the shoulders of these soldiers that they stand.
And African Americans continue to excel in the military. Notably, Colin Powell became the first African American chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest military position in the Department of Defense. He would later become the first black Secretary of State.